Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, zooming in on covert narcissist deception. This is a very important topic and sensitive for many people, especially those who have had an intimate and long-term relationship with a covert narcissist. A covert narcissist is a type of narcissist who really has a very sort of sly and undetectable method of abuse. They're very oftentimes the people who you would least expect to be harmful to you. They are the people who you would really least likely to really think that their behavior could be a deterrent or harmful, or let alone deceptive. So let's look a little bit here into the covert narcissist and how they use deception in order to really abuse others. The narcissist, the covert narcissist, one viewer had noted is, not only aloof, but as he described it as, lacking in emotional intelligence. This is very, very true in that the covert narcissist has an inflated sense of self-importance, lacking in empathy, but really has a certain social ineptitude in terms of being a little bit, kind of clumsy socially, maybe not very big on conversation, can't really make small talk very well, can't really just kind of, meet and greet people the way an overt narcissist who's like outwardly very charming, very sort of outgoing and gregarious with others, and really uses that facility to lie and deceive and keep a facade. It's very, it's almost like night and day, black and white, with the overt narcissist versus the covert narcissist. So the covert narcissist is very undetectable in their method of abuse, and that's what makes it so difficult, because it's so difficult to identify a negative effect from somebody who is such a personality disorder type. So how do they really deceive? What are their deceptive tactics? Well, how can quiet be a method of deception? How can withdrawal be a method of deception? How can retreating be a method of deception? Well, rather than them really having little to say, as one would assume, really the covert narcissist has much to say, but they keep it to themselves. So it's almost like a selfish hoarding of information. The covert narcissist will deceive you by seeming like they're just, having to retreat, withdrawal, be quiet, just as this is just their personality type. Yet it's a very calculated reticence. It's a very calculated aloofness. It's a very intentional and deliberate not getting involved. In other words, if I can just turn a blind eye, if I can just ignore this, if I can just keep making a beeline, I really don't even have to provide and give and share to this person who obviously needs my attention, who obviously I should be providing for, being in a intimate relationship with them. So as a family member, or as a boss, a direct, associate, they should, by virtue of their position or dynamic, they should really be interacting with you in this way. But the covert narcissist will remain reticent, will deliberately not say anything, will deliberately withhold information, will deliberately not interact, so as to just take care of themselves and not take care of you. This is abuse by neglect. It's a very elusive thing. It's hard to articulate. It's difficult for me to put this into words, but I'm doing my best. When we talk about abuse, physical abuse, hitting, spanking, beating up, pushing, cutting, etc. This is all violent abuse. This is all physical abuse. Yet neglect is also a form of abuse. So let's just look at what would be, neglect of a child. not attending to their physical needs, not attending to their emotional needs, not attending to their basic needs. In other words, food, being allowed, a healthy environment to interact, being out in the open. So when this is deliberately withheld, that is a form of neglect. So a lot of people don't see it until they're able to kind of put the pieces together with the covert narcissist and say, you know what, that is neglect. That is neglect of basic needs. And a lot of people who have suffered in silence, have suffered in neglect. So they're like the silent minority, or silent even majority in specific situations where they have realized that they have been abused by omission or abused by a deliberate withholding of affection, attention to their basic needs, basic communication needs, and it has a very profound and painful effect, specifically in the hurting of esteem, the belief in oneself, and the ability to really build up a sense of competence and self-trust that they can then take out into the world and take care of themselves with these basic skills. So if you have been, denied these and sort of depersonalized through this sort of abuse, I understand this. You can always, if you do need assistance kind of working through this on an individual basis, I'm happy and able to work with you. Please do email me at peaceandharmonynow@gmail.com to learn about the different services that I can assist you with, because there are tools that you can plug into to emerge out of this depersonalization and arrive at your authentic self and live empowered and get beyond this sort of horrific and insidious type of abuse. Peace and harmony with you here today. I do hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.